ourselves. We cannot be dependent on the barge. That's suicide for us. So the scary part is that these corporations have now convinced the governor, and the governor has convinced his departments that the base of the agricultural community in the state of Hawaii is going to be biotechnology. That's what he has decided. He has told the biotechnology people, you do not have to come and lobby me. I am here to lobby you. So we are in danger of having the focus, which should be food security. That's the focus, food security, so we can feed ourselves in the state of Hawaii, has now gone to biotechnology. And everything that they produce is shipped out in bags that have signs on it that says not fit for human consumption. Wow. So this view of food security has now switched to exporting of seeds. You guys, this island is the center. I thought we had problems on Molokai, but man, the problems here in Kauai is the #1 problems in the state of Hawaii when it comes to negative impacts of these biochemical companies. This is the island that is taking the biggest hit. All right? Last week we were in Waimea. Couldn't believe it. Yeah. The whole town is surrounded. Yeah. They're surrounded, whether it's Nihao wind or trade winds. They're going to get it. So this is the place, and this is a very complicated issue, and I don't want to talk about all of the different issues, because I know many of us brought our children here today, and that's a really big issue. What is going to happen to our children? So, and I'm here because we see what happened to our lands on Molokai, and we refuse to create the dust bowls that they're creating and all of the negative impacts that these farmers are doing. And those of us that go into the stores, you don't know what you've been eating, but you've been eating GMOs. And they say, look, what's the problem? Nobody has been able to trace anything back to the GMOs. What's the problem? The problem is, if we all look at our families, this is a very unhealthy community. Our people are unhealthy because of the food that we're eating. And we can't trace it back to these guys because it's not labeled. How can you trace anything back to our diseases? It's not labeled. All I know is our kids have diseases that only adults used to have. Now the kids are getting it. We know something is wrong. That's why all of you are here today. We know something is wrong. And we are here to say to our elected officials, listen to the people, listen to our concerns. We are telling you right now, we do not want GMOs to be in our food supply without us knowing it right now. That's the first step, labeling. This is a sign that I was going to carry today, but because of the rain, I wanted to make sure the thing wasn't going to be all running and nobody can read it. Okay? And then we got a couple more other signs. And maybe, Loretta, you want to come hold one sign? I'm putting these signs up because what you guys did today, you guys know what you did today. How about another round of applause for what you guys did today? You guys are unreal. Coming out here in the rain, coming out here on a Saturday. Hawaii, you guys are unreal, Hawaii. You guys are unreal. Okay, so, the message is loud, alright? And the unity is there. It's not over, alright? There's a couple more things we need to do, and this is one of them. Alright? So, your senator is a very powerful person at the legislature. He is the vice president of the Senate. And the Senate, in the beginning of the legislative session, said that they had problems last year with transparency and public participation. That's why they had so much trouble with the PLDC and the GMOs because they were hiding and doing things behind closed doors. So they said, the President of the Senate said that her policy is going to be more transparency. So as the Vice President of the Senate, we have to say that there is no reason why the labeling bill that has passed the floor of the House, it went through 3 committees, and anytime you get referrals to 3 committees, that's the kiss of death. Nobody expected the labeling bill to go through 3 committees. It did, and it passed out of the House. So the labeling bill is still alive. It is now in the hands of the Senate. And this is one of the big leaders in the Senate from your island who is speaking the loudest, your island who is taking the lead in the state of Hawaii when it comes to GMOs, loud and clear. This is your leader, a very powerful leader, and he needs to hear your voice. He needs to make sure that the Senate does not kill the labeling bill by not having any more hearings. He needs to make sure that the Senate has hearings, and we only have about a week to 2 weeks at the most to have these hearings. So you guys, now that you've still stood up and said in a loud voice, no to GMOs, you need to now to get on your cell phones and call this man. Call this man and tell him that we need to have hearings on labeling of GMOs that has passed the House. So everybody, and if you can do your computer, that's even just as good as calling, and maybe even better, but get the message to the leader in the Senate. If we do that, we are going to be the first state in the whole union that has a labeling bill. And that's going to come from Kauai. A leader from Kauai. So, you know, everybody a little bit wet, I'm a little bit wet, feeling good, everybody feeling good. We did what we needed to do, and I wanted to make sure that I say my mahalos to a very special person, and that's Dustin Barker. Mahalo to Dustin. He kept inviting me to come over, he kept pushing all of us, he kept saying we're going to have a march every week. We said, what? Every week? Every week we're going to do it. When we did Hali Iwa, everybody was like, wow, look how many people. And then now we're on Kauai, and we go, holy smoke, Kauai, #1 to Kauai. Thanks to Dustin. So, pick your leaders well, all right? We're not going to win any battles through one effort. We're going to have more and more efforts. So when this man blows the poo shell, like we did in the old days to build our fish ponds, when that poo shell blows, everybody needs to come. So when Dustin blows his poo shell, I know all of you will come and bring all of your friends. Dustin Barker.